Book summary of The Writer. Thriller by James Patterson. Title: The Writer. Thriller. Author: James Patterson. Genre: crime thriller, psychological suspense. Summary. Prologue: Killers, Inc. In the tense opening pages, readers are thrust into the mind of an unidentified killer. Person who's chillingly composed, driven by need not just to kill, but to craft perfect story. The first murder, stage-like scene from best-selling thriller, immediately draws media attention and singular grim thought reverberates. The writer's watching. Part 1. The Book and the Body. Henry Asher, reclusive, critically acclaimed true crime writer, lives in upstate New York. Known for his eerie ability to get inside the minds of serial killers, Henry has long withdrawn from public life, retreating into solitude after personal tragedy. The unsolved disappearance of his wife, Claire, 5 years prior, though never charged, rumors still follow him. Haunted by memories and burdened with guilt, Henry momentary peace in his writing, but one woman's body is found near his remote property. Posed exactly like the victim in his latest unpublished manuscript, his world unravels. The police, led by Detective Sarah Keller Sharp, principled investigator with tragic past of her own, view Henry with wary eyes. The murder scene is too precise, too detailed to be coincidence. Worse, only Henry, or someone with access to his private files, could have those specifics. Part 2, Blood on the Page. As the investigation begins, Henry is caught between suspicion and fear. He knows he didn't kill the woman, but can't explain how his fiction became blueprint for murder. Then another body appears, this time in New York City, posed like another scene from Henry's previous bestseller, Silent Witness. The press erupts. The writer becomes headline fodder. Escher is dubbed either killer or the killer's muse. Faced with growing pressure and self-doubt, Henry begins to believe someone is using him, that the murders are message. But from whom? He turns to Maya Castillo, an ambitious investigative journalist, and his former protege who believes in his innocence. Together, they start tracing the victims and uncover a disturbing link. Each woman had been part of support group for domestic violence survivors. The meetings were confidential, their identities protected. How did the killer find them? Part 3. Pen names in past lives. The killer. Dubbed the narrator by the media. Seems to be playing cruel literary game. Each murder is more theatrical, more psychologically tailored, more written. The FBI joins the investigation with Agent Noah Reed, profiler obsessed with patterns, convinced this is more than a fan gone rogue. Meanwhile, Henry dives into his own past, uncovering something chilling. One of his old fans, Elias Grant, brilliant but unhinged writer he once mentored, was institutionalized after a violent episode and released under new identity. Could Elias behind the murders, or is that just what someone wants him to believe? Simultaneously, Sarah Keller digs into Claire's disappearance. Evidence once deemed inconclusive now feels more deliberate. Is it possible that Henry is the long con? Not the killer, but bait. Part 4. The confessional draft. Henry and Maya track down surviving members of the support group, only to find that one of them, Jasmine Price, has gone missing. They discover she had corresponded with someone under the pseudonym J.P. Lovelace, name Henry used in college to submit horror stories. Now the narrative changes. Someone is mirroring Henry's entire life, both real and imagined. Every story he ever wrote, every painful memory, is being weaponized. Breaking the case comes from Sarah Keller, who finds encrypted emails connecting the killer to private online forum for aspiring crime writers. Inside, they find chilling posts. Someone had been crowdsourcing the perfect murder, testing out scenes, getting feedback, even quoting lines from Henry's books. Part 5. The author's ghost. As the body count rises and public scrutiny mounts, Henry spirals. Is he being framed? Or is something darker happening? Could his grief and trauma have birthed dissociative state? Key twist emerges when Meyer uncovers surveillance footage of someone entering Henry's secluded cabin. The man? Elias Grant. He's alive, unhinged, and obsessed with finishing the story. The line between fiction and reality collapses. Final confrontation looms. Climax. The final chapter. Without giving away spoilers, the story races toward breathless climax as Henry is forced into deadly game, one where the next chapter could cost him everything. The killer's endgame is revealed. Final masterpiece involving Henry, Maya, and long-buried truth about Claire. Themes: structure. 1. The nature of storytelling. The novel blurs the line between fiction and reality. It asks, can a writer ever truly separate themselves from their work? And when stories inspire real horror, who bears responsibility? 2. Trauma, memory, and guilt. Henry's study in unresolved trauma, his inability to move beyond Claire's disappearance makes him an unreliable narrator of his own life. Device Patterson uses to great effect. 3. Obsession and identity. Both the killer and Henry struggle with identity, one trying to become the writer, the other trying to understand himself through the narrative lens he's mastered. Or media frenzy and public opinion. The story critiques our quick descent into judgment, as Henry is tried and condemned by the court of public opinion before any evidence is fully examined. Narrative style. Patterson employs his signature short chapters, rapid pacing, and alternating points of view, including chilling glimpses into the killer's mind. The prose is tight, cinematic, and laced with cliffhangers that demand the reader keep turning pages. Balance between psychological depth and plot momentum is carefully maintained. While readers race to uncover the killer, they are also drawn into deeper questions about the roles of grief, art, and morality. Critical reception, early praise, genuinely suspenseful, thrilling page-turner with masterful twist. Booklist. Patterson is at the top of his game, delivering layered, addictive read. The Guardian, excellent. Consider blocking out few hours of uninterrupted reading time. Kirkus Reviews. Conclusion. The writer is more than a thriller. It's meta-exploration of the power of stories in the darkness they can conceal or reveal with unforgettable characters, pulse-bombing pacing, and hauntingly original premise. James Patterson once again proves why he's the king of suspense fiction. Perfect for fans of You by Caroline Kepnes, Misery by Stephen King, or Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. The writer leaves readers with one unsettling question. What if the story you wrote came true?